Why is life beautiful?
So I think life is beautiful just because people think that life should be sunshine and rainbows, right?
And unicorns. Don't forget the
And
unicorns.
unicorns and all that, the leprechaun,
Coloring books and
the gold
crayons.
at the end of the rainbow, all that stuff. They think that is what the beauty of life is. But the beauty of life is the contrast of the highs and the lows in life. And there is meaning through struggle. I mean, without struggle, you can't really appreciate the goodness in life. It's like nothing's ever linear. There's the highs and the lows, and
It's like eating a piece of chocolate cake and you love chocolate cake, but only chocolate cake is on the menu and that's all you can ever eat. After a while, it gets kind of boring. Got to have some variety, which one of our 6 human needs is variety.
Yep.
And so without that variety, life just doesn't seem as meaningful or as beautiful in this case.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when you eat your favorite ice cream. It's so good because it only lasts that long, right? But if you had ice cream like 24/7, ice cream is kind of gross at that point, and it makes you sick. So just having these different experiences and being able to actually willing to experience even the negative emotions. I think a lot of people try to push away the negatives or like, oh, like I can't feel negatives. But they did a study, you can't selectively mute emotions. Like to mute pain is to also mute happiness. Like you can't selectively mute which emotion you want to turn on and off and which to experience. So you want to fully experience the array of emotions. You got to get through the hard ones too and be able to sit with it.
Yeah, because what you resist persists. And if you don't move that energy, that stuck energy through your body, it shows up as muscle tension in your nervous system.
Yeah, a lot of
Like we
people.
found out last night when you were working on me.
Yeah, when people think that like, oh, you hold on to stress and it's just a thought or maybe like an emotion, but it gets physically stored in your body as well. It might show up as like tense shoulders, tight muscles in your back. People have like massive neck pain, or in their lower back, and it just manifests itself. And just because you can't visually see what emotions you're experiencing, or I don't know, it's not like you see a cut on your foot and you put a Band-Aid over it. With emotions, it's different. You have to be really aware of yourself and check in with yourself and be honest with yourself and say like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. And just sit with it. And
it's like relationships. You can't appreciate a good relationship or a good partner without having had bad experiences or negative experiences or experiences that didn't go the way you wanted it to or hoped it to. Because we human beings, if something comes easy, we don't appreciate it. We tend to take it for granted.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And if you take it for granted, it doesn't really mean much to you. And since it doesn't mean much to you, then you don't put the effort in to maintain it. It's like what I see a lot in phone sessions I do with guys is that they start to take their partner for granted. And so they stop making the same kind of effort that it took to cause her to fall in love and be in love. Mm-hmm. And then they stop doing the little things, and then she feels like he doesn't care. And so she puts less of an effort in there. And then it's typically, you see things where guys are busy, they're trying to strive in their career, and they're working all the time, and their girlfriend or their wife is saying, you never spend any time with us, the kids miss you, next week, next month, I need a few more weeks, a few more months, then we'll take a vacation. And they never can find the time to spend with their girlfriend or wife or their family. But as soon as they get served with divorce papers, they definitely find time to meet with a divorce attorney.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't care. And another thing I hear a lot is like, because women, you guys always complain and you emote what is bothering you, what you want to be different. And I hear all the time, I didn't think she was serious. I didn't think she meant it. And so even though she's telling them, because women help you when they like you, what they need from you, the guys are like, oh, I didn't think she was serious. I just figured she was emotional. Mm-hmm. But once she breaks up with them, or worse, breaks up with him and then monkey branches to another guy right away. And they're like, I lost my soulmate. I was so in love. And then they don't. One of the things I always do is I kind of take them back in time a little bit before the breakup happened, and it's like, what were you doing 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months before the end of the relationship? And they always stop putting their best foot forward. And then my question was always, well, why was that? Why weren't you putting your best foot forward? Either they were struggling with something or they just weren't feeling it. And because rejection tends to breed obsession, they don't really care that much. But as soon as they get dumped, now their interest goes through the roof, and they're like, I lost my soulmate, I got to get her back. Whereas before, they might have been talking about breaking up with her, but now it wasn't their choice. She actually broke it off with them, and then they want to get her back. And then they get her back sometimes, in some cases, especially if they come to me, and then 3 months, 90 days, maybe 6 months tops, everything that turned them off about her is still there. And then they end up back in the same place that they were, feeling the same things.
Yeah.
And then, but at least when somebody wants to get an ex back and they do get a chance to get back together, and then they see things as it is, they can leave and not feel like they lost something or missed out on something.
Yeah.
Because if a guy gets rejected and he never gets another chance, he'll carry that for years with him. What if? What if I'd done this? What if I'd have done that? And it's all in their head. It's all self-created. But you help a guy get her back, and then the next time around, maybe he's the one that ends it because he recognizes that it should have ended a long time ago. Because most people stay in unhappy relationships. A lot of women marry guys that they're not in love with, and the guys have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, and that's true. What marriage is a contract that was made 9,000 years ago, or I don't know how many thousand years ago. But at the time, the lifespan of humans were 30, 40 years old. So you used to just, you're a teenager, you got married, had kids, and then you died at 30, 40, right? But now we live to almost 80, 90 years old. So, and people change, right? They change throughout the years, and as you should, right? People are always growing. And
I look at people don't change. They become a better version of who they are. A liar and somebody that's devious and a cheater. If they've got a track record of that, they're not going to change. They become better at it. Maybe 1 in a million does, but when you see the same thing over and over and over again, I mean, character's destiny.
Yeah.
If somebody has no character, they don't value commitment. They don't value loyalty. Maybe they came from a background where they watched their parents cheat on each other, and then once the parents split up, they continue to cheat on their new partners.
Yeah.
And then it's like that's what they learned, and kids exhibit, they model their parents, and that becomes their behavior. And if you got somebody that's 30 years old, 40 years old, and they've been living this way their whole life, just because you're a good person, you're a good dude, a lot of guys make the mistake of thinking that, hey, 3% man, I can apply this, and I can fix my fucked up girlfriend or my lying, cheating, devious girlfriend. I can turn her into a good, honest woman. And it doesn't work that way. If she's got no character and she belongs to the streets, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah.